And today is the day. Spider-Man 2 has finally landed on our doorsteps. Now, guys, we each pre-ordered the collector's edition from PS Direct, and it came a day earlier than we intended. My God, super hype. Absolutely incredible. I suppose the first thing is that have you guys opened this majestic bundle? And if so, I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. Phil, let's start with yourself. You are wearing the Venom t-shirt after all, the villain of this story, if you will.
Well, I think it's very suited, isn't it? That I'm Venom. We got the younger member of the podcast wearing Miles Morales. And of course, you're everybody's hero. You are Spider-Man himself. So we're all dressed very appropriate for the Spider-Man 2. Look at this beautiful box. And I have opened it, I'm not going to lie, and I took out the code, I put it in my PlayStation, and it's already installed. So I'm going to shoot downstairs as soon as we finish doing this, as soon as it's edited, as soon as it's up on YouTube, and I'm playing the game.
You're lucky you got that cracked internet, mate. I did the same thing. I opened my box, took the code out, chucked it on, 3 hours to wait. So
Ooh.
I've got time to kill. So you never know. Yeah. Thanks, Internet. Cheers. Thanks for being so great. What about yourself, Spence? Did you have more self-control than us, or were you straight in there like a kid at Christmas?
Well, that box is in pieces. I dove into that bitch. Oh, baby. I was actually very careful in opening my box, but like you boys, dove in, took that nice empty steelbook out, and took the code, put it in. It's already installed and booted, waiting for us to hit end recording on this video. So boys, let me tell you, let's get her done. But yeah, I did get into the box. I didn't go too far. I took the steelbook out and put it in. I haven't seen the statue.
Ooh. Okay, well, I suppose it's important at this stage. We might as well follow Philip Hoy in the unboxing process. Phil, you can talk us through what you uncover at each different stage. Talk us through for the audience. What is there? What's included with this bundle?
Okay, here we go. So this is the official Spider-Man 2 Collector's Edition bundle. So we have the Steelbook display case, so no game, as Spencer's already mentioned, and that hurts me. We have the full digital PS5 game, and we have a 19-inch, yes, listeners, 19 inches of Venom, Miles, and Spidey, as well as some digital content as well. And the box is pretty damn big. Look at this beast. I'm trying to pull it out at the moment, and I've already ripped the box because I was trying to be so careful. So I'm never going to resell this anyway, so who actually cares, right? So let's pull this baby out, if I can. Oh, here it goes. Here it goes. Can you hear that? This is a bit of ASMR here. Pop.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to smash this. Right, let's put that over there. There it goes.
It's now a 6.5-inch Venom statue.
Now we have a pure black box. Look at that, baby. Look at that.
Jeez.
Size comparison. Look at that. That is an absolute beast. I can see, Spence, you've got to this stage now with your box behind you. So we're at the same stage. Davey, you are ahead. You've broke it out.
I've done everything. Yeah. I got the steelbook on the shelf. I've got the statue set up at the moment on top of the display unit, which I had to move everything around to fit it in because it is gargantuan, as you already stated, 19 inches, hell of a big statue. So I'm all done, other than waiting for the game to download. So I'm a step behind you guys in what actually matters, but I've done everything else.
Sacrifices had to be made for this statue. You know, I've tried to rearrange my office slightly. I only recently bought a Magneto helmet, which I sported on one of the previous episodes of the podcast. So I've had to move things around. My Death Stranding Collector's Edition has gone up onto a different shelf, and I've cleared some of the old Sega games out so I can display this correctly. So sacrifices had to be made because I'm jammed packed in my office at the moment for space.
So I suppose, shall we take our audience off tenterhooks and start showing what's actually inside that beautiful black box?
Okay, let's go. Right, I'm going to release the contents of the box, if I can.
With the box as well, good cardboard, innit? I know that's a weird thing to say, but it feels premium, doesn't it? It's not like, if you remember when you got your PS5, the cardboard just felt kind of flimsy, and you could tell it was recyclable cardboard, right? Good for the environment, not so good for the premium quality feel. This feels like just a really good box. It's just got that feeling. You think, oh, that's money well spent on this.
And here's a little detail. There are 2 straps either side that you can pull, and it helps you release the statue. I don't know if you
That's
noticed
nice.
that. You didn't just tip it upside down and it all just fall out. But here
That's
goes.
quality of life.
Let's pop the hood on this baby.
Ooh. It's like the Ark of the Covenant. You look inside, you're like, oh, it's too
The
beautiful.
smell of this smells of money, mate. It smells expensive. Oh, breathe that in. Look at that. There it is. There's the steelbook in all its glory. Oh, and we have a nice little instruction booklet as well, or instruction leaflet to show you how to assemble said statue. There we go. Spence, are you going to join me at this stage?
Wow, it's already in my hand, my friend.
Already? Oh, he's jumped ahead. And then
Jeez,
in
look
the
at
steelbook, if I can open it without destroying it, we have our code, which I won't show our viewers or our listeners.
I'll show mine. It's redeemed. Get done. Get shacked. Give away mind. Cut out everything I said. We're giving that away. Bang views.
Beautiful steelbook, mind.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you guys think about the steelbook itself in terms of like the quality of it? Is it got a lenticular fashion, would you say? Or is it just a very nice high premium steelbook?
It doesn't have a lenticular, which is always a downside, but you don't really get lenticular with steelbooks. You get lenticular sleeves. With this, it's good quality. Mine feels a little bit inflated in the middle. Feels a little bit fat. I don't know why. Also, the art, I'm fairly certain, is just a screen grab from the game, which is fine. But for a steelbook, I'd quite like some like custom concept art or proper art on the front. But this is fine. It is nice. I think it could be better.
They've cheaped out on the back of this as well. There's nothing that interesting there unless there's a detail I'm missing. But on the front, it is the artwork that we've all seen 1,000,001 times if you haven't muted Twitter for Spider-Man content. We've seen this too many times. But now it's on a steelbook, and it looks beautiful, but we have seen it before. It's nothing special, I wouldn't say, on this one.
Well, when I compare it to like the God of War Collector's Edition or the Horizon Collector's Edition, those are really beautiful. Now, this is more in keeping with the Horizon style in terms of it being like kind of the key art that you've seen everywhere, being that on the box. Horizon very much the same. God of War wasn't. God of War was like, it's its own thing. It's its own steelbook, just with like the kind of logo on it, just standing out, like jutting out from the steelbook. And that was lush, like really, really nice. You thought, oh God, this looks stunning. But I didn't think it was a bad thing, the design of this. The key art for Spidey that we've seen, even though it's been beaten into us 1,000,001 times by now, is still beautiful. And I was still like, ooh, taking in every detail for it. So it certainly did its intended purpose, and it looks great on the shelf. And that's the main thing.
Right, shall we continue with the box? I'm going to pull up the protective layer. Sturdy, mind. Let's see if we can get this out without ripping it. Ooh.
It gets caught.
I seem to just damage everything whenever I'm opening it carefully. If I just ripped it apart, it would all be fine. Here we go. Right. There goes the red protective layer. Nice little touch that it's red. Isn't just your standard kind of like boxy colour, is it? They've thought about every detail along this journey that we're taking opening this box. And then, let's lift it up without breaking it. We have the statue all wrapped up. So I'm going to start unwrapping, Spence. I don't know where you're at with it.
I don't even have the box open, mate. I'm going to follow you along your story, I think.
This was something that I got to give it up to Phil, because mine was a very personal journey. In terms of I bent down on one knee, opened the box, and it was one of those things where you just uncover it and you're like, like someone asking you to marry them, you know, where it's like, you know, they're like taken aback. I looked at it and thought, oh, the girth, the length. I had 19 inches, sounds massive. I'm not used to seeing 19 inches of anything. So seeing 19 inches of pure Venom was enough to take my breath away.
See, there's the difference between me and you, Davey. Your 19 inches you wanted to keep for yourself, but my 19 inches, it's here on display for everybody to see.
Share it around, mate.
Here we go. Here's the first part of the 19 inches. Okay, so we have Venom. He's already attached to Miles. Look at this. It is absolutely huge. Christ. I'm not sure I've got it all in frame. There we go. That is a hell of a beast. Look at that.
It's the detail at the bottom is what I adore. Just where it's like the symbiote all on his feet, like all around that. Or the detail is just So nice. So nicely done.
Right, we're at the next stage. So I have a web. I have Spidey. But where does the web go into Spidey? Let's have
Surely
a
it's
look.
Web shooter.
Oh, it goes into his
The
hand.
web shooter
I was
itself.
looking in his arse. That wouldn't make sense, really, would it? Well, it would if if it was technically a spider.
If he was a
yeah.
if he was a real Spider-Man. The hyphen makes a big difference, doesn't it?
That's
If he
true.
didn't have the hyphen, it would be shooting out of his
That's
arse.
why he's always reminding people.
Yeah, there's a hyphen. It's not Spider-Man.
And it goes into Venom's shoulder.
Ooh, doesn't look all too stable.
Not yet. But I don't want to force it in live on camera just yet. So I don't want to break it, but I'm being very careful. So there we go. So there we have the full statue. Very close to being assembled outside me pushing in the web a little harder into his shoulder and into his hand. But that's a statue and a half, boys. You got to be impressed with that, haven't you?
It's great. It's really good. And this is always the worry sometimes with collector's editions, is that you'll get something and the build quality's not quite right, or that things don't really fit too well together. And you've got to force things. And I didn't have any issues with mine. It all just slotted in really well, super easy to do. And it's nice that it all came as a proper statue. It wasn't like something you really have to piece too much together. It was just, just Peter himself that you got to put on, which was great. So
It wasn't a Gundam, was it?
wasn't a Gundam, mate. No, certainly wasn't.
Because they take their time to put together, and every little minute piece you've got to cut out of a spur. This is very simplistic. I've put that together in all of 2 minutes, haven't I?
And so I suppose, guys, the big question is, obviously this cost 220 quid for us in the UK to be able to get hold of this. Judging by what we've seen so far, obviously we haven't played the game yet. That's going to be its own thing. But if you discount the game from this and you take that like $70 out of the equation, and the rest of it now goes to the statue, the digital content, and the steelbook itself, are you happy with the price that you've laid down here?
No.
No, you're
No.
not, are you?
If the game's not included, absolutely not. I think it's a really peng statue. It's really nice. But it's a game that I would spend 150 quid for the standard edition. The game is kind of what makes it for me. So as much as I love everything that's in the box, I don't think it's worth that amount of money. But I was happy to pay it because of the game that it's attached to.
Right, that's interesting. That's an interesting thought. What about yourself, Mr. Hoy? Where do you come down on this?
Well, quite similar to Spencer, but ultimately I'm very happy with what I got. I think you're paying for quality, and I think all along this journey that our listeners and our viewers have joined me for, from the box to the wrapping to the actual statue itself, it's all been quality, as we've remarked, all along the way. Now, looking at this statue, I can't take my eyes off it. I don't want to look at you boys anymore. I want to look at my new statue, find its place, put it up on my shelf, and honour it, because it is beautiful, and I think it's well worth the money. I'm really, really happy with it. But just to echo Spencer's thoughts, as everyone knows who listens to the podcast regularly, I am a physical guy. I like collecting the discs. I am a collector at the end of the day. And now to have a steelbook that's empty kind of defeats the point of having a steelbook. And it kind of forces me down this route that probably in like 6 to 8 months, when I see this game in CEX, once people have all completed it and they're chipping it in for a couple of quid, I'm probably just going to end up buying it just so I can have the physical disc in my steelbook.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And it is a shame that we do have this split thing between physical and digital, because it means that now they always have to just, anytime they do one of these collector's editions, they always have to go digital with it. Same with Horizon, same with God of War. And it is a real shame. It does take away from that. And there is something really nice about having, special kind of discs. If you remember back in like PS3 generation, you'd get a special edition and it would have a different print on the disc itself. So you knew it was part of that. It was like another part of the whole presentation front, which has now gone away. And that is a shame. Ultimately, I think for myself, guys, that I've paid a lot more for a lot less when it comes to collector's editions. And I think for 220 quid to get a statue of that caliber, and it is a really good looking statue, I'd easily quite happily pay, 199 or 180 quid just for the statue alone for a 19-inch really nice detailed statue. And so to get that included with the digital content of the game and a nice little steelbook I can put on the shelf, more than happy with that. You think about the price that, say, Resident Evil charges for on its steelbooks and its collector's editions, when you're talking about those statues and the price that you pay, it's just ridiculous. So, they're looking like £400 odd. So in a way, they could have charged more for this and probably got away with it with people buying it. So I'm ultimately happy with what we've had included for the price here.
Lads, to be fair, I gave obviously we all just gave our prices for the box and if it was worth it. I hadn't actually looked at my statue yet. I'm looking at him now. Tell you what, it's big wine, isn't it? Look at the size of this, Donny. Jesus. It is bar none the sickest statue I own, and it is not even close. So, yeah, it's worth the money. I'm thinking about it, it's worth the money. Considering how much I spent on my other statues, which are way worse, yeah, it's definitely worth the money just for this alone. Jesus, yeah. Swap sides, this is sick.
You heard it here first. The flip-flop has happened ever since he touched that statue. The symbiote's got him. He's taken control, and now he's happy spending that big, hard-earned cash down. And I think we all are. And audience, if you haven't had chance to secure a Spider-Man Collector's Edition, maybe it might be worth having a little look online and seeing if you can pick one up at a good price. I don't know how much you're willing to spend, but for all of us at 220, it was definitely worth the money. I would love to hear what you think about this. Best way to do it is to write in, so please just put a comment below on the video. Let us know your thoughts on the Collector's Edition and Collector's Edition in general. Do you wish they included a physical game? Or are you happy with it being the digital code? Let us know. And that has been it for this special little unboxing episode of In PS We Trust, a PlayStation podcast. I've been Davey.
I've been Venom.
And I've been Spence.
Take care, guys.
Peace.
In PS We Trust is hosted by Davey, Phil, and Spencer. You can write into the show via our email, pswetrust@gmail.com. Our Twitter is @InPSWeTrust. To find each of us online, follow our Twitters, @SSJDavey, @PhilipHoy, @SpenPie_. Thank you for listening. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other. See ya.